Hello fashion lovers, welcome to my YouTube channel again. Today I'll be taking you guys on how to make a long gown Ankara long gown. Alright, so in this long gown you can notice that the net at the net that is inside is separate, while the Ankara on top is also separate. They are not being sewn together. Alright, so stay tuned and watch out how I'm going to do this. So do well to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a video. Alright, so right here the first thing we'll be doing is to first of all cut the half length of our fabric, the upper part. So I'm using 16 inches as my half length, but I added 1.5 inches, that's making it 17.5. so that's for the front. Okay, and right here I'm marked out my basic bodies, my chest line, breast point, under bust line, waistline is going to be the last one, and then the first space is going to serve as our shoulder line. So the first thing we'll be doing now is to divide our shoulder by 2. Your shoulder divided by 2 plus half inches. I normally add half inches on my shoulder for sewing allowance, and then on the neckline I'm doing 3 and 2 inches for now. You guys know is a turtleneck we are doing, so that is how I used to get my perfect turtleneck. So I used to use 2, not 3. So for the turtleneck we are using 2 and 3 and 2. Okay, so once you divide your shoulder by 2, that same thing you got on your shoulder that you've divided by 2, you go ahead and get it on your bust line. That's the chest line, the first line that you have. So I marked the 3 inches that I marked at the shoulder, at the neckline. You're going to connect it to the shoulder. You're going to bring down your shoulder with 1 inches. Okay, and then you find the midpoint to go in with half an inch. So right here I'm dividing my bust measurement to connect the 3 dots together. That's the measurement of the chest line, and then with the midpoint of the shoulder and the half inches at the shoulder, at the top of the shoulder. All right, so I hope you guys understand this. So that is it for the shoulder. Already you guys already know a lot about the shoulder part, so let's just go into the main body part. So right now you're going to go ahead and divide your body circumferences by 4. Okay, that's your bust line, your under bust and your waistline. Divide it by 4, and then you also go ahead and divide your bust span. The bust span I'm using here is 7.5 divided by 2 plus half inches, so it's going to be 4. Mine is 4 inches. Okay, so and your bust span, that's your nipple to nipple measurement, you're dividing it on the breast point line. So you're taking it all the way down. Okay, you're taking it all the way down. So after that you're going to mark 1 inches at the first side, and then 2 inches inside. You're taking 2 inches at the other side of, after your line, after the bust line, after the bust span line, you mark 2 inches at the other side, which 1 inch is at the front side. I hope you guys understand. So you're going to connect it to meet that bust span that we have there, the 4 inches that we have at the bust span. So that's what I'm going to go ahead now and connect the both of them to meet that line. Then after that, the next thing you'll be doing is to connect it to that midpoint of your shoulder. The midpoint of your shoulder, that's the 4 inches you have on your shoulder. You're going to connect it to that place. Okay, so as you've connected it now, you now come down with 1 inches on the shoulder and also go out again with 1 inches. And if you look clearly, I started coming out with 1 inches from that straight line I have there, not from the curvy one. Okay, so I'm going to now reconnect this thing. Now I'm removing that 1 inches, that line that is in the middle. I'm going to remove it. So right here you can see that the way I'm plotting the way I'm joining the line. So you can actually go ahead and use your French curve if you want to. Okay, So but I don't want to use my French curve, I'm just doing a freehand here. So after this I went ahead to add my sewing allowance. So at the bust area I added 3 inches at the bust, and then every other side I added 5 inches, that's including the one we are taking out, the dart intake of 3 inches plus 2 inches for sewing allowance. Okay, so that's a total of 5 inches, so that's what I'm adding at the front. All right, after which you're going to go ahead and join the 3 lines together. Then after joining the 3 lines together, the next thing you're going to do is to reconnect the armhole line. That's just from that second line that you brought down 1 inches with. Okay, so when you're done with that, I'm just going to go ahead and use marker to line up every other part that I'll be cutting out. So guys, the next thing I'll be doing is to get the Ankara neckline. Okay, so for the Ankara neckline I'll be using 10 inches. You guys know that the 2 inches I marked earlier is for the turtleneck line that is inside. So this one now is going to be for the Ankara neckline. I did 10 inches because my client does not want something that is too down. She doesn't want it to be too down, so I did 10 inches. You can still go down if you want, okay, or still come up if you want to, so feel free to do your thing. So I have to go back and go ahead and connect it to that same 3 inches, but I later used 3.5 inches for the Ankara. Okay, that's for the neck of the Ankara, 3.5 and then 10. But for now let's just work with 3 inches because I'm cutting 2 round necks. Okay, so right now I will no longer be using this line at the side of the bust. So after that you're going to go ahead and start cutting out this pattern paper, but I don't cut out the main fabric yet. Let's cut out the back pattern of the half length. So guys, right here I actually wanted to just take the front pattern and place on top of it and then trace it out, but then it's going to be a bit complicated for you guys. I don't know if you guys are going to understand this, so I decided to just film it as well, that which means starting afresh. So right here, what I'm doing here is I'm marking the line. So my shoulder line, my chest line, my under bust line. Right at the back I'm not using my breast point line again, I'm only using my under bust line, and then the waist line, that's the last one. You can see me giving 1 inch space over there for zip allowance. All right, so any other thing I'm dividing now is going to be starting from like after that 1 inches that I gave. That's where I'll be starting anything at all. So for my shoulder divided by 2 inches plus half inches, I'm starting from that line, that's 1 inches. Okay, so I came down with 1 inches on my shoulder, and for the neck of the shoulder, of the back of the shoulder, I'll be using 3 inches and also half inches for the to come down with it. Okay, so I'm coming down with half an inch, and then the width is going to be 3 inches, the same with the front. Okay, so after this you're going to go ahead and connect it to your shoulder, and then divide your body circumference. You're going to go, also remember to find the midpoint of your shoulder. Okay, so everything you did on your shoulder in the front, that's the same thing you're going to be doing for the back. Okay, so then divide your body circumference by 4 and add just 2 inches, but you can go ahead and add 2.5 inches at the back. Okay, I added 2.5 inches at the back, so you can still go ahead and add 2.5 inches at the back. So that's how you're going to do for the back. So divide everybody measurements, your body measurements, your body circumference, that's the same thing. Divide them by 4 and then add your sewing allowance to it. Okay, so do well to connect the lines together when you're done adding the allowance, and then you can go ahead and cut out the fabric. Okay, and mind you that the back pattern is shorter than the front with 1 inches. All right, so you already know that I usually slant the back of my zipper side, so I used to slant it to avoid zip blocks. So but I'm not just going to slant it in this video. So guys, because of the back is shorter than the front with a 1 inch, I'm going to remove 1 inch, like 1 inch dart from the side of the front. Okay, so you watch carefully and see how I'm removing it. I'm taking out half inches on the breast point line. I'm taking out half inches from the up and down. So I'm going to place one of the half inches on top of the other. All right, I've done this several times in most of my videos, so if you've been following me, you already know how to do this. So at the edge of this side, you're not going to do anything there, you're not going to fold it. That side should be on its own. So like this, now you can see that the both of them are already meeting each other at the down part. So this is how I'm going to now go ahead and cut out the front pattern of my. And for the neckline, you're going to go ahead and first of all cut out the inner neckline first. That's the sequence on. Okay, the turtle neckline. This one is 3 and 2 inches. 2 inches down, 3 at the side. Okay, so once you're done cutting out this, the next thing you're going to do is to use this pattern to cut on the yellow part, the inner neckline first. Okay, that's going to be for the turtle neckline. So if you look at this closely, I also gave half inch space. I did not cut on it directly at the edges. I have to give a little space, okay, only at the round neck. Okay, so I hope you guys understand this. So after this, now you go ahead and then cut the neck for the ankara. Okay, go ahead and cut the neck for the ankara. And as I told you people before, that I have to give space for the ankara own, I took in half inches extra. I did not use these 3 inches for the neck. I have to take it in a bit, like half inches a bit. So do well to take yours in as well, just half inches there. So the ankara neckline was 3.5 and then 10 at the down part, while this side is 3.5. Okay, and for the turtle neckline I used 2 down and 3 side. All right, after which I will be cutting it out and then use this pattern now to cut out the ankara neckline. Okay, so it's going to be double. All right, it's going to be double. And here is for the skirt part. I've already gone ahead to draft it. I didn't remember to record it when I was drafting it. So you're going to minus, take away your half inches. Okay, take away the half inches, the half length of the upper part, and then the other ones left, you start from there. If your half inches is 16, you place your tape at 16 and then get the full length that you are working with. All right, and then after that you bring down your tape to get your hip measurement, which is 9 inches. You mark the 9 inches. That's where you're going to be measuring your hip measurement plus 2 inches. Okay, once you add your hip measurement, you add 2 inches. Same thing with the waist. Once you add your waist measurement, you place 2 inches at it. Then you give space at the back. You give space for your zip allowance. That is it all for the skirt. It's very easy to draft. It's just the same way you draft a normal pencil skirt. All right, just that this is not going to have a band. Okay, so I hope you guys would understand this. And remember to add 2 inches allowance for your folding, that's at the down part of your fabric. You remember to add 2 inches allowance for sewing. All right, so that you can turn it up. And then your lining should be 2 inches shorter than the main fabric. You can see that mine is 2 inches shorter than the main fabric. Okay, so that because you're going to be sewing it, and the lining has to draw the fabric upwards. So your lining should be 2 inches shorter than the fabric. So I think I'll be stopping this video here, because if I continue, it's going to be very long and I wouldn't want that. So see my next tutorial. Alright, so see in the sewing part of this tutorial. These are the fabrics that I had to cut. So you go ahead and cut out the wording that you'll be using. If you want to use wording, you can go ahead and be cutting and cut out the wording, cut out the gum stay, hair stay, anyone you want to use, you're free to. Okay, so me, I'm just using paper stay that will be coming on the both fabric, the ankara and the lining. All right, so see you in my next tutorial. Bye.